Hello everyone and welcome to stage 6, lesson 81. Let's get started. Scientist. Scientist. Scientist is, for example, Albert Einstein. That was a scientist. Would you like to be a scientist? Would you like to be a scientist? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't like to be a scientist. Why not? Because I'm terrible with numbers. Tissue. Tissue. Tissue is a paper handkerchief like this. This is a tissue. What do we call a paper handkerchief? What do we call a paper handkerchief? We call a paper handkerchief a tissue. Division. Division. Division is like league when we talk about sports like football or ice hockey. The first division are the best players, the professionals. How many football divisions are there in your country? How many football divisions are there in your country? There are many football divisions in my country. Which division is your hometown in? Which division is your hometown in? My hometown is in the first division, possibly. Within. On the other hand, for example, if you need to do something quickly, you will hurry. When you hurry, you are fast. On the other hand, you might make mistakes. And in and within, so the time now is 10 o'clock. If I went out of the room and said, I'll be back in an hour or in an hour's time, it would mean that I'd be back at 11 o'clock. If on the other hand, I went out of this room and I said, I'll be back within an hour, I mean that I'd be back at any time between now and 11 o'clock. The time now is 10 o'clock. If I went out of the room and said, I'll be back in an hour, what would I mean? The time now is 10 o'clock. If I went out of the room and said, I'll be back in an hour, what would I mean? If you went out of the room and said, I'll be back in an hour, you'd mean that you'd be back at 11 o'clock. If on the other hand, I went out of the room and said, I'll be back within an hour, at what time would I return? If on the other hand, I went out of the room and said, I'll be back in an hour, at what time would I return? If on the other hand, you went out of the room and said, I'll be back within an hour, you'd be back at any time between now and 11 o'clock. Do you think life will be discovered on other planets within the next 100 years? Do you think life will be discovered on other planets within the next 100 years? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that life will be discovered on other planets within the next 100 years. Mainly, shopping. Main is like the most important, and mainly, most importantly, or mostly also. And shopping is when you use money to buy things, you go shopping. Which is the main shopping street in this town? The main shopping street in this town is Masarykova Street. Do you think that the difference between the people of one country and those of another is mainly a question of language? Do you think that the difference between the people of one country and those of another is mainly a question of language? Yes, I think. Yes, I think that the difference between the people of one country and those of another is mainly a question of language. Sing, sang, sung. You sing a song to yourself. And the three forms of sing are sing, sang, sung. What are the three forms of sing? What are the three forms of sing? The three forms The three forms of sing are sing, sang, sung. Why are people so often in the habit of singing to themselves in the bathroom? Why are people so often in the habit of singing to themselves in the bathroom? People are so often in the habit of singing to themselves when they're in the bathroom because their voices sound better in the bathroom. If you sang in public for a day, how much do you think you'd earn? If you sang in public for a day, how much do you think you'd earn? If I sang in public for a day, I think I'd earn about 2,000 crowns? Maybe? I don't know. Have you ever sung in public? Yes, I've sung in public. Profit, loss, business. Business is like a big company. Profit and loss are opposites. So the business makes money. If you make more money than you spend, you are in green numbers, you make profit. If you are in red numbers and you spend more than you earn, you are making a loss. If you bought a business for £1 million and sold it again later for £250,000, would you be making a profit? If you bought a business for £1 million and sold it again later for £250,000, would you be making a profit? No, if I bought. No, if I bought a business for £1 million and sold it again later for £250,000, I wouldn't be making a profit, I'd be making a loss. How much would your loss be? My loss would be £750,000. Future perfect. So they want me to tell you about future perfect. For example, I will have eaten is a sentence in the future perfect tense. We use the future perfect when we're thinking about time before and up to a specific point in the future. For example, if you know that you will be in bed at midnight tonight, you can tell a friend, please don't phone me at midnight, I will have gone to bed. This communicates that you will go to bed before midnight and that at midnight you will be in bed, probably sleeping. When do we use the future perfect? We use the future perfect when we're thinking about time before and up to a specific point in the future. Give me an example, please. For example, when you arrive at my house, I will have cooked dinner. What does that sentence mean? That sentence means that I will finish cooking dinner before you arrive at my house. When you arrive, dinner will be ready. Tell me the difference between these two sentences. At 9 o'clock, I will eat my dinner, and at 9 o'clock, I will have eaten my dinner. Tell me the difference between these two sentences. At 9 o'clock I will eat my dinner and at 9 o'clock I will have eaten my dinner. The difference between those two sentences is that at 9 o'clock I will eat my dinner means that you will start eating your dinner at 9 o'clock, whereas at 9 o'clock I will have eaten my dinner means that my dinner will already be finished at 9 o'clock. Will you have had your dinner before midnight tonight? Yes, I will have had. Yes, I will have had my dinner before midnight tonight. Will we have left this room in 3 hours' time? Yes, we will have. Yes, we will have left this room in 3 hours' time. At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, will you already have got up? At 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, will you already have got up? Yes, at 10 o'clock. Yes, at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I will have already got up. Will most shops in this town have shut before 11 o'clock this evening? Will most shops in this town have shut before 11 o'clock this evening. Yes, most shops. Yes, most shops in this town will have shut before 11 o'clock this evening. Minister, minister, prime, prime. Minister is a person with an important job in the government. For example, we can have a minister for agriculture, minister for education, etc. And prime, the prime minister is the most important of ministers. What's a government minister? What's a government minister? A government minister. A government minister is someone with a very important job in the government. Give me some examples, please. For example, Minister for Agriculture, Minister for Education, etc. What do some countries call the most important minister in the government? What do some countries call the most important minister in the government? Some countries call the most important minister in the government the prime minister. Guess. Guess. Guess is when you are not sure about something, so you guess. For example, I don't know how many people live in Brno exactly, but I guess it's about 400,000 people. I don't know how warm it is outside, but I guess it's about 15 degrees centigrade. Are you usually able to guess a person's age? Are you usually able to guess a person's age? No, I'm not. No, I'm not usually able to guess a person's age. Coin. Coin. This is a coin. It's the metal money, like 1 crown, 2 crowns, 5 crowns, 10 crowns, 20 crowns, 50 crowns. Have you got any coins in your pocket at the moment? Have you got any coins in your pocket at the moment? No, I don't have. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers can be used in several situations. You can say it instead of thank you. Thank you or cheers. You can use it to express good wishes when having a drink with someone. Say cheers. And finally, you can use it instead of goodbye. So goodbye or cheers. In which situations do we say cheers? In which situations do we say cheers? We say cheers. We say cheers to express good wishes when we have a drink with someone, to say thank you, and to say goodbye. And that's all for today, so thank you very much for your attention and cheers!